Gun violence in Sacramento, California has apparently gotten so bad that the city has voted unanimously to pay gang members $1.5 million for a ceasefire because there's nothing like bribery and extortion to stop crime. A fatal shooting in a city park that left one person dead and 4 injured prompted the city to act on a controversial new program called Advanced Peace. The program is controversial because it offers gang members cash stipends of $1,000 a month in order to attend school and stop shooting people. The program doesn't actually explicitly ask its recipients to stop committing crime. It pays them so long as they don't get caught. The vote originally wasn't supposed to take place for another 2 weeks, but immediately following the shooting, the mayor demanded a vote in order to, quote, save innocent lives. The vote was scheduled the same day as a vigil for the victims, which makes the vote seem even more like an appeal to emotion rather than logic. A similar program is already in place in Richmond, California, with moderate success, and Stockton is also considering jumping on board. The money will come from the city's general fund, and the program will last 3 or 4 years, depending on how long the city decides to contract with the Advanced Peace organization. The Advanced Peace website says that the program works by investing in the development, health, and well-being of those at the center of the crisis. And from a mental health perspective, I will admit there is some validity to that. Earlier in my career, I spent time working at a nonprofit community mental health agency where many of my clients were men and women on probation and parole. Several of them had been members of the Bloods or Crips or Latin Kings, and some of them wanted to get out of that life but either hadn't finished high school or were unable to find work because of their rap sheets. But these were guys that knew they needed help and purposefully sought it out with no expectation of getting paid for it. Offering $1,000 a month to guys just for staying out of trouble is a very different thing, and I also have to question how they arrived at the $1,000 amount, as I'm sure that's not even going to cover rent. Their website also doesn't have any information on how the organization plans to accomplish its goal. To find out how the program actually works took some digging. According to an op-ed over at the New York Times, the pilot program worked by getting the names of the roughly 30 men that the police believed were responsible for all of the gun violence in Richmond, bringing them to a city hall and handing them $1,000. The program then offered them job training, and if they completed 6 months of training, they would then receive another $1,000 every month for 9 months. They were also given weekly classes on conflict resolution and anger management, but a decent part of the original program was funded through donations and private grants, not with taxpayer dollars, and that's a big difference. If this were a completely private operation, I'd be all for it. According to the data, it at least works better than jail and obviously works better than adding more and more gun control laws to the books. This time, private funding is expected to take up approximately half of the cost, while the city government is taking up the other $1.5 million. The city's gang intervention unit says that a typical homicide costs the city about $1 million anyway, but depending who you talk to, the actual price per homicide might be as low as $400,000, though that's still a lot of money. Now, in Sacramento, the city has identified 50 young men that police feel are responsible for about 70% of the city's gun violence. Though the program has now been approved, there are clashes over the contract, as in some places the resolution calls for a 3-year contract and in others calls for 4. Many community members, even those whose families have been victims of gun violence, are skeptical at best. They say it's the community that needs to change, and no government program will change that. That is your Second Amendment and Firearm News for the week. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or follow me on my multitude of social media accounts. Until next time, thanks for watching, stay safe, and happy shooting.